from Kern Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2 p.m. session of the regular meeting of the Board of Supervisors on Tuesday, November 5th. First item is roll call.
Supervisor Peters. Here.
Have all the mics on. Okay, Supervisor Peters is here. Supervisor Flores.
Here.
Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez.
Still here.
Next is a report on actions taken in closed session.
Good afternoon. This morning, following the board's AM agenda meeting, your board met on items 53 through 55, and there are no reportable actions.
Okay, thank you. Next is the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors. All items listed with a CA or a C above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. We can act on those all in one motion. I will tell you what's on the consent agenda for the Board of Supervisors. It starts on page 2, and it's got item 4 on it under the Board of Supervisors, but we're going to remove item 4 at the request of our staff, and so item 4 is not actually on the consent agenda. So let's start the consent agenda on page 3 with items 5 through 8, page 4, items 9 through 13, page 5, items 14 through 19, onto page 6, items 20 through 27, page 7, items 28 through 33, page 8, items 34 through 42, and page 9, items 43 through 44. Is there anyone here that would like to make a comment or ask any questions about the items I just read off? Okay, seeing none, I'll return it to the board for a motion on the consent agenda and to adjourn as the Board of Supervisors and reconvene as the Kern Sanitation Authority.
So moved.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Supervisor Flores, can you reconfirm your vote? Thank you. The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. We're now sitting as the Kern Sanitation Authority, and there is one item on that agenda. It's the top of page 2. It is item 1. It's on the consent agenda. Is there anyone here that would like to make any comment on item 1 under the Kern Sanitation Authority? Seeing none, I'll return to the board and ask for a motion on the consent agenda and to adjourn as the Kern Sanitation Authority and reconvene as the Board of Supervisors.
So moved. Second.
Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Thank you. That takes us back to page 2, item 2, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter that is not on the agenda but is under the jurisdiction of the board. We try to keep our comments to 2 minutes. Is there anyone here who would like to make a public presentation this afternoon?
Good afternoon. I'm Eddie Lane. Thank you for Ms. Krause for her help on this issue. Maintenance and security of Kern County parks is critical for their use. Sadly, today's pictures show continuing inattention to basic maintenance of restrooms in 3 District 5 parks. These issues have been reported again and again to the Office of 5th District Supervisor, to the Kern County Administrative Office, and because of Health and Sanitation, to Kern County Health Department. The only response has been from Kern County Health Department, which referred the issues to County Council with no response as of today. Month after month, the issues are the same. Broken sink faucets in restrooms, broken water fountains, so important in hot weather, graffiti, including grand graffiti in one picture I gave you, and obscene graffiti in another picture that I did not give you. Drug use, resulting in periodic inability of the public to use the one restroom available to the public in Pioneer Park. Unsanitary conditions making restrooms unused, unsuitable for use, and no indication of park ranger presence. Even though January 25th, 2024, State of the County address, Chairman Couch expressed his hope, and quote, that park rangers can be staffed sufficiently across Kern County. The issue is not funding. As indicated in our recent Sierra Club letter, of the $16,400,000 in the 23-24 budget, over $3 million were not used. $3 million not used. As we have previously noted, the City of Bakersfield Park Rangers close restrooms every night. Issues such as those noted are addressed in a timely manner. Months after months of no responses to these issues leaves the community wondering who cares. Who cares if their children cannot use water fountains in 100+ degree weather? Who cares if park restrooms are filthy? Who cares if the graffiti in the Pioneer Park restroom reads, "Hail Satan, all praise to the dark Lord"? For the sake of our children and grandchildren and nieces and nephews and children we care about, we should care.
Any other public statements today? Seeing none, board member announcements or reports? Any of those? None of those. That takes us to item 4, which was on the consent agenda but removed by staff. Ms. Oviatt. Afternoon.
Good afternoon, Chairman Couch, members of the board. Thank you. I'd like to give you a short update. This is the housing element that we have been bringing before your board that did pass the Planning Commission, but state law requires that we receive a letter of conformance from HCD, the state of California, before your board can consider and accept our recommendation for approval. We have received a letter from HCD in August, and we have been working with them proactively to identify what it would take for us to update this document. We believe that we are on an aggressive path to have that done. The law then requires that we post it for 10 days so that the public can review the comments. We will be posting it next week, the week of the 11th. We have reached out to the stakeholders of the League of Justice and Accountability, who have graciously offered to host a public meeting with people they would like for us to talk to about housing needs. We will be having that meeting as well. We are therefore optimistic that this next round of review, which can take up to 60 days by the state of California, will provide us a compliance letter, and they are therefore changing our recommendation to continue this to Tuesday, January 28th, 2025 at 2 p.m. I'd like to note that one of the most critical things that we will be bringing you is actual goals. These will be numbers of houses that we are going to be encouraged to make happen, different actions, and we are going to quantify them, and we are going to provide you a report yearly on how we are doing. This is in conjunction with the department, with the support of the CAO, creating a housing unit that can also, in conversation with the CAO, provide for homeless prevention updates on everything that the county is doing in that regard. So while it has taken us longer than we expected, we are making significant progress, and we therefore ask that your board continue this matter to Tuesday, January 28th, 2025 at 2 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone here who would like to make any comment on this item before we take an action? Seeing none, I'll come back to the board and
So moved.
Second.
didn't have to ask for a motion. Got one and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Nice work, Mark.
Thank you. That takes us to the end of the agenda, I believe, correct? Need a motion to adjourn to November 12th at 9 a.m.
Supervisor Couch, maybe I missed when we were going over this at the beginning, but I had meant for item 26 to be pulled, and maybe I wasn't paying attention
I'm sorry.
when we approved the consent agenda.
I forgot that you said that, and then we approved the entire consent agenda. So he would like to have reconsideration of item 26. How do we do that? Do we need to
so
reconsider the
let's-
entire consent agenda?
Mr. Chairman, may I
Yep.
suggest that Supervisor Peters make a motion to reconsider item 26 on the consent agenda the board can vote, and then we can hear item 26.
Thank you. I'll make that motion.
Second. You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. All ayes.
Sorry about that, Supervisor. Please proceed. We're now hearing item 26.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be CAO.
Do you want me to go to the, you want the CAO comments first, or you want to?
Yeah, if CAO would like to make some comments first, I would welcome that. If not, we can move forward.
Supervisor Peters, through the chair, this item is to approve a one-year contract with Paul Yoder Group for our state lobbyist. This is following your board's action to establish the Legislative Program Committee at the last board meeting and have two board members that were appointed, yourself and Supervisor Flores, to have an opportunity to be part of the Legislative Program Committee that would evaluate both the federal and the state lobbyists. And there was language added to the contract that added for additional accountability based on the board's interest in establishing that on our lobbyists. And so that was added to the contract agreements. As you may recall, there was a discussion on that the lobbying, both for federal and state contracts, there was an RFP process, and both the federal and the state lobbyists that are presented today on the agenda were those that were chosen by those committees. So happy to take any, answer any questions your board may have on that item.
Okay, thank you. And initially, when this was going to be brought back, I thought it was going to be just for 1 year, but there are two optional automatic extensions for 2 years apiece as well, so for a total of 5 years for this contract, correct?
Supervisor Peters, through the chair, how that works is that the LPC will be evaluating upon the first year, and then we would have to, we could automatically go to an extension unless the LPC determines, and there'll be an evaluation process as we get to the end of the first year to determine if we want to go forward with either the federal or the state lobbyist. So there will be an opportunity for the LPC to weigh in on whether we're going to extend beyond a year.
Okay. Got it, thank you. You know, this isn't something that I want to keep dwelling on. This is something that's come back multiple times. I was one that initially brought this up as a concern probably over a year ago. And I just, you know, we've had the same person in that role for, I believe, over 15 years now. So I personally, you know, we have a lot of issues going on in Kern County, and most of them, the vast majority of them are from the state of California. And so I'm not putting all of that on any one person by any means, but it's more important than ever that we're extremely aggressive and proactive and looking at different ways of engaging than we have been in the past, because clearly, well, we've been getting our rear ends kicked in Kern County all over the place. And I've brought up multiple concerns over the multiple times that we've heard this item. And, you know, I don't think we need another year to evaluate. We've had 15. So for that reason, I'm going to vote no on this item. And I'll make a motion to that effect.
So your motion is to reject it?
Yeah.
Supervisor Perez?
Thank you, Chair. I want to appreciate the county staff for the hard work that you've done. I do trust your judgment, and I do trust your ethics. I'm going to vote to support staff's recommendation, and I'll make a motion to that effect now. Thank you.
Do we need to take public comment on this?
Well, we do, and I also, Supervisor Perez's motion.
Right, we have a motion on the table already, and that would have to either be seconded or fail for lack of a second. But if it's seconded, then there'll be a vote, and if it fails, then you can go to the next motion.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to make, let me go to the public here before we get any seconds or anything else. Does anyone here like to make a comment on this item? Okay, seeing none.
Just a point of,
Supervisor Perez.
I
Excuse me,
guess, clarification.
Flores.
Which motion are we taking up first?
Supervisor Peters'
Okay.
motion. Okay, so no second on that, so now we'll proceed with Supervisor Perez's motion.
Okay, maybe, can I also weigh in on your motion, Supervisor Perez? So we have a colleague that has some concerns about the lobbyist, and I want to be respectful of those concerns. When one of us has a concern, that concerns our whole collective body.
Agreed.
Might we change the staff recommendation just slightly to alter this kind of automatic language and just make it for 1 year? And I know the LPC is going to weigh in after a year anyway, but maybe we can just peel back that automatic language so we just have a straight 1 year contract, and then the LPC and the full board could weigh in at the end of 1 year.
Can I ask a question about that? The LPC, for everyone's benefit, is the Legislative Policy Committee. Is that correct?
It's the Legislative Program Committee.
Program Committee, okay. The way I thought about this is you would bring to that committee a discussion or on the year's worth of work of both of these particular firms. And that committee would then forward a recommendation to the board to either extend or not. But there's only 2 members of the board on that committee, so you could have two minority recommendations. But if there's not a majority, if it's not a unanimous decision by that committee, then it would not go forward unless the board chose to do that. Do I understand that correctly?
Chair Couch, that's correct. So what we would do if there was not consensus is that we would bring it to the full board. This is a Board of Supervisors contract. Ultimately, what we would want to include is any feedback from the LPC because they're going to engage on a monthly basis with the lobbyists so that your full board could then hear, the feedback from what they've observed over the year.
So even if the committee is unanimous on extending the contract, it still would have to come back to the board to be extended?
We would make that happen, correct?
Okay.
We can, the wording gives us the flexibility, like if the LPC there's no issues, and we're not anticipating, we could have the flexibility to do that, but if your board would like us to ensure that after the first year, whether it's regardless of feedback from the LPC, that it comes back to the board, we can make that happen.
Is that essentially what you're asking for?
Yeah, I would just like to have an added assurance that it's just not automatically done
Sure.
in 5 years, just so the LPC has a chance to weigh in after 1 year. And then also, in your staff report, you talked about verbally increased accountability. What do those measures that you envision look like?
Sure. So they'll be tracking various things within, and it's laid out within the contract. There's the successes on oppose and opposition, the activity that they've engaged with on behalf of the county. If we can quantify dollars and those types of things that impact the county, that's what we'd be looking to do. And typically, those things are things that we are able to obtain.
Okay, like a legislative report card okay.
That's correct.
Okay, so, okay, I'm okay with giving them a year and testing them, and now that I'll be part of the LPC, I'll be scrutinizing and looking to see how it progresses, good or bad. Okay, so
Supervisor, I'm sorry.
that's all the questions I have.
Supervisor Peters, you want back in there?
And just to clarify, was that a motion and a second on that, or was that just some comments?
It was a motion and a second, but I think you wanted to maybe amend the,
I accept the friendly amendment.
Okay, thank you. So,
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to clarify that. And even though we're in disagreement on this issue, I do appreciate the consideration from my colleagues on this. And hopefully we'll make some better progress in the next year.
so a little confusion here. What is your question, Madam Clerk?
I just want to make sure for the record that I'm clear on what we are amending as part of this
That
motion.
There isn't an automatic extension possibility. It'll have to come back to the board to be extended. Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, County Council.
For clarification, can I ask, for the language in the agreement, would it be acceptable to state that the term of this agreement may be extended for up to 2 years, as opposed to the term of this agreement can be automatically extended? Are you asking for that amendment to be made?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
For the record, Chair, I accept that.
Okay, so there's a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
Thank you. The motion is approved, 3 ayes, 1 opposed. Supervisor Peters.
Okay. Now, just need a motion to adjourn to Tuesday, November 12th at 9 a.m.
So moved.
Without objection, we're adjourned. Thank you.